My next guest knows all too well what it felt like to be on that roller coaster. Vanessa Pham is the co-founder of OmSam, an emerging Asian pantry staple company. SVB was OmSam's sole banking partner. Vanessa, what in the world was this week like for you?
Oh my goodness, an absolute roller coaster. Now I'm smiling because we're on the other side, but I can tell you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way through Sunday, late afternoon, early evening were some of the hardest days of running the company. We had very little clarity on what would happen in the future, and we had to plan for every scenario, including the worst case.
When did you first know you had a problem?
Thursday morning, I was actually at an industry conference in the food industry, and there was starting to be founders talking about pulling out their funds, their investors telling them they should pull out their funds quickly, and that's where it started to escalate.
So Thursday morning, you get that sinking feeling. How long was it before you felt totally reassured that your money was going to be safe?
Monday night when the wire had cleared. When the news came out on Sunday, I was like still holding my breath a bit.
And so how do you feel now? I mean, are you confident in your new bank? Are you confident in the banking system overall?
I am still feeling a little on edge, absolutely. I think overall, I also have this feeling that I don't have the luxury of worrying so much. I have to operate the business, right? Small companies like mine, we have a team of 9. We are running full steam ahead on launching new product lines, launching in new retailers. We can't really be worrying at times about these, more existential systemic issues. And so I'm trying to stay appraised and make sure I'm making prudent decisions for my business. And I have to just keep moving forward.
Yeah, a little on edge. I think a lot of people are feeling that way. Vanessa, thanks so much for sharing your experiences with us tonight. And check out Bitcoin up 36% over the past week. That's despite the closure of crypto-focused banks and Silvergate and Signature. Is this just a short-term pop, or has the recent banking crisis proven crypto's value? Let's bring in Jacob Silverman, contributing editor at The New Republic, and Meltem Demirors, Chief Strategy Officer at CoinShares. Let's start with you, Jacob. I mean, this idea that people are rushing to safety in crypto, maybe boggles the mind a little bit. What do you think?
I think it's unlikely to be a place of long-term safety. I mean, I think if you're talking about the recent run-up in crypto, especially in Bitcoin, I mean, just this week, Tether printed $3 billion worth of Tether. It's one of their biggest printings ever. TUSD went up about $1 billion in market cap over the last couple of weeks. I think a lot of this is actually being driven by offshore money going into these offshore stablecoins that are then being used to buy crypto. You also had Binance putting about $1 billion worth of BUSD into crypto. So there are definitely some big players moving, but if they don't have access to mainstream finance to fiat dollars, I don't know what they're going to do long term.
Meltem, I don't want to be too cynical here, but you do think about some of these crypto companies that were concerned about the collapse of SVB and their loss of access to fiat currency, right? And you wonder, well, if crypto is so great, why aren't they just using crypto?
Well, here's the great thing. Banks are still banking crypto companies. The reason that Silvergate and Signature, the 2 banks that were shut down, were so important to the crypto ecosystem is because they made crypto compatible with the dollar banking system and vice versa. So they both had private internal networks that allowed for 24/7, 365, near real-time instant settlement for crypto for dollars. And so that was a really important driver of liquidity, particularly on the trading side of the crypto ecosystem. Now, as Jacob alluded to, some of that gap is being filled by stable coins, and stable coins are really important because they allow you to settle dollars with finality in real time against crypto, which again, what we're seeing here is a fundamental technological incompatibility between bank wires, which take 2 to 3 days to clear, move quite slowly, and cryptocurrencies. But it's very important. Crypto companies still have bank access. Firms still have access. It's just this real-time bank facility to access dollars in real time. That's been severely curtailed, which is why we're seeing so much movement towards stable coins and more on-chain financial products and services.
So let me ask you about that, Meltem. So in your view, as you look at this, does this flight to safety in crypto, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. I think we are seeing a lot of interest in crypto, notably Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange that is fully on chain, trades only crypto to crypto, had its highest volume day ever last Friday. So that to me is an indicator. It's a lot of internal crypto transactions. There is a lot of retail interest. We aren't seeing a huge amount of non-crypto institutional interest. But you have to remember, both tech and crypto, big hot ball of money. When money moves, it moves fast. Velocity is really high. And this is all digital banking done via phone, done via screen with the click of a button. So this velocity, as it continues to increase and spread to other industries, I think we'll continue to see this volatility when it comes to banking and bank stability.
Jacob, I like that turn of phrase from Melton, big hot ball of money. Where is that big hot ball of money going to go next week? You think this rally is going to carry into next week, or is this just a short-term thing?
I think it's short-term. Whether your short-term includes next week, I'm not sure. I mean, I think we are seeing so much of this go offshore and be, just in the realm of speculation. Retail volume among just everyday traders has been declining since May 2021 when it peaked. And you might see some hot spots here and there of more interest, but if we had so many failures over the last year culminating in FTX, I don't see how regular consumers can really get excited about crypto again.
Melton, go ahead.
I mean, first of all, I just want to say retail traders are in the market. Coinbase, Binance are doing record numbers for the last 6 months. They've had suppressed volume. We're seeing a lot of interest now. Look, I fully agree. I think the environment is still risk off. And I'll be very candid. I've worked in this industry for 9 years, and we have a huge reputational issue. There has been a lot of damage done, and rightfully so. I think people are wary of crypto. But when it comes to Bitcoin in particular, I think the value of Bitcoin has never been clearer in the current economic environment and in the current banking environment. 25% of American adults, according to some research, own Bitcoin. 300 million people around the world have exposure to Bitcoin or have used Bitcoin. So I think these numbers,
again, to grow. Let me just jump in there. If Bitcoin's going to continue to grow, how do you convince people who are out there who saw the FTX headline, see the meltdown, they see Sam Bankman Fried on an island somewhere with billions of dollars, it all looks very scary. How do you convince those people who aren't in Bitcoin now to jump in? That's what you need for growth, right?
Well, look, Sam Bankman Fried is not Bitcoin and vice versa. That's very important to distinguish. Many industries have had bad actors, whether it's tech, whether it's pharma, right? This is not a problem that's unique to crypto. And again, there are many different ways to get exposure to the crypto space. Coinbase is a regulated, publicly listed company. My company, CoinShares, is a publicly listed, regulated company that provides transparency. So again, there are a lot of choices, a lot of different ways for people to get exposure. And I just want to make it clear, one person does not represent our industry. Bitcoin has no leaders, has no rulers, and there are a lot of different ways that people can interact with it. It's going to take time. I don't disagree with you, but we just need to let things take their course. And I don't think there is a rallying cry. It's people learning, getting interested, and then taking the risk and jumping into Bitcoin if they feel it's appropriate for them. And a lot of people are starting to make that choice.
Let me get to Jacob on this one. Jacob, we've got a couple of seconds left. In those couple of seconds, fix crypto's image problem for me. What do they need to do to turn things around?
Well, I think they need to take care of some of the fraudsters in their midst, and we can argue whether crypto has a sort of a criminal or fraudulent element more than any other industry, but it's certainly there, and the industry has a reputational problem. I also think even the regulated entities like Coinbase need to find out how to be profitable. Coinbase is held up as the regulated crypto exchange, but it's losing so much money each quarter. So I think we need to you need to find ways to market as a secure, stable place for people, and a lot of everyday folks just don't see it that way at the moment.
Solve an entire industry's problems in 30 seconds or less. Guys, fascinating discussion. Really appreciate your time. Melton and Jacob, thank you for being here on this Friday night. And don't go anywhere. There's much more ahead on this CNBC special, Taking Stock.